Now, Nicki Minaj, you know who been running an American Express card up, and they in your house. Let's talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another King of Reads video, child. We got so much to talk about. If you got an American Express card, you might want to call it up and figure out what's going on, because Nicki Minaj said somebody been running her numbers up. Yeah, the man who you've been sleeping with. So we got so many things to talk about in this King of Reads video. We got to talk about what is happening over at Zeus Network, aka Joe Budden podcast with Marc, Lamont Hill and Flip. Whatever baby, it got heated. Okay, the way Mona said, I'm scared. It was giving me Portia from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Get out of my closet. We got to talk about that. We also got to talk about what is happening over at Atlanta. Girl, y'all better be fighting, because the way that Wendy and Eddie is eating up all the attention, apparently Drew and K. Michelle got into it, and she had some words for her on Twitter. Now, we just found out just now that Wendy Osefo has been let go from her teaching position at a university. We got to talk about that. We also got to talk about this sad passing of a legend, D'Angelo. We got to talk about all these things, but before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and get into this mental health check-in. My mental health, how I'm doing, how I'm feeling good, y'all. I am feeling amazing. I had a really good weekend. I went and had tacos with some very close friends, and it was lovely. Like, the day was lovely. I always feel good when I'm hanging out with folks that I care about and all the things. So it was really, really good. I'm also shocked that I went to my favorite taco spot and I ain't had no margaritas, because let me tell you something, real tacos, y'all high as hell, but them drinks be hitting. That's why they can afford all the decor over there. But I went to Real Taco with my friends. I'm so surprised I ain't had no margarita. So it's been almost 2 months of me not having any alcohol, and I'm just so proud of myself. And I don't think it has anything to do with my mental health and all that. I just made a decision to, hey, let me see how long I can go without having a drink. Shout out to my guy Macy, who he did this a couple years ago. I was like, let me see how that worked for me. So I do it every so often, but it had been a minute since I've done it. I encourage, if you want to see if you can go a weekend or two or a couple of weeks without a drink and see how you feel. I will say I have noticed some things, like physically, but I've been enjoying it. But the fact that I went to my favorite, and didn't have no margarita, y'all know I love a margarita and some tequila, and it's sweet. Oh my God, baby, a passion fruit margarita. I hate to see me comment, because you're getting slurped up. Have you ever been swallowed? But I am feeling good. I hope to give y'all some good energy and some good vibes. So let's go ahead and get to the tea for today. The tea is Nicki. You might got a penny. Girl, they coming for you, Nicki. Nicki Minaj woke up this morning and said, hi, Barbs, talk to me.
I am cooking. All y'all gotta do is stay healthy and bring a huge plate to eat food when it's time to eat. Onika is cooking. And honey, when Onika is cooking, the Barbs need not worry about a thing. Okay?
Talk to me, girl, because somebody been talking to American Express, because, baby, they been running your number up. Nicki Minaj woke up posting screenshots of $8,000 here, $5,000. She said, we got to get to the bottom of this, baby. She got to get into the mystery machine. I don't know why you got to get into the mystery machine, find out who is taking your money when they right next to you, okay? Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? I'm laying right in your bed next to you, girl. Kenneth running your pockets dry, girl. He already in the text post saying he using you and all the things. I feel bad for you, sister. But you coming on Twitter Spaces and talking to your fans, you need to find some real friends. I don't know why you talking to us. A lot of us, we're in a recession. We ain't trying to hear folks running your numbers up $10,000, $8,000 here. Girl, they can't even get $8 off our card, baby. Matter of fact, we locking our stuff up so Apple Music won't take the funds. So you need to go talk to the millionaires. Don't come on Twitter Spaces talking to us. We gotta be at work in the morning. But Nicki, this looks bad for you, considering that Cardi B a couple of weeks ago sent out some tweets eating you up and saying that Kenneth Petty running your stuff out. He got all the men running in your house and he using you and all the stuff. And now you find out you done went through all your stuff. The way Nicki Minaj opened that MacBook up and and downloaded Pro Tools and start going through her finances, girl, it's looking bad. It's looking bad. And per this U.S. Weekly report, girl, you better pay this lawsuit because this man apparently trying to come for your house. Nicki Minaj's $20 million LA home at risk of being seized over massive debt owed. Woo. Nicki Minaj's LA mansion is at risk of being sold off due to massive unpaid debt she and her husband, Kenneth Petty, have refused to pay. On October the 6th, Thomas Wiedemuller, who was awarded 503,000 bands from Minaj 42 and Petty 47 in a lawsuit over alleged assault by Petty in 2019, asked the court to order the rapper's home to be sold to help him collect on money owed. Wiedemuller, who was a security guard at one of Minaj's shows in Germany, said Minaj owns a 11-bedroom, 16-bathroom, 11,820 square foot home in Hidden Hills, California. The entertainer purchased the home for $19.5 million in December 2022, according to property records. In his motion, Wiedemuller explained that he believes the home is worth enough to pay off the mortgage, liens, and his debt. He pointed out that Minaj has a $13,258,000 mortgage lien on the home and a $722,151 homestead exemption, together just under $14 million. Pay up. Hey, girl, go ahead and sell your house. Pay off my debt, dude. Say I ain't in debt. It's looking bad. It's just looking bad. Like the fall from grace, like Nicki Minaj, girl, you can get on there and sound like a 6-year-old all you want. These is grown folks' problems. Grown folks' problems. Rich grown folks' problems. You need to pay that man. Now they saying that this happened because Petty socked the dude in his head, in his face or whatever back in 2019. He sued. And Nicki Minaj and them ignored the court. They didn't show up, so they got a judgment. The judge said, hey, girl, pay up. $500,000. $500,000. Let me tell you something. I don't like to that type of anytime it comes to like judgments and stuff, paying for something that you cannot touch and you can't take to the pawn shop, you can't sell, that will always bother me. Like my mama always taught me, if you gonna buy something, you need to be able to take it to the pawn shop. You need to be able to sell it or something. Like just paying something off like that for being stupid. I mean, Tasha K can relate. Buffy, you can relate. But it's looking bad. And Tasha K ain't nothing but Nicki's mouthpiece at this point. Because they're trying to say, well, Tasha is trying to allege that the person who's been stealing and using an American Express card by Nicki Minaj is the former stylist. And that he's been using her card. And she filed a police report. I don't care. These are rich folks' problems. Go find out. Go find out. Go find out. Like, this will be the second person that Nicki Minaj has been associated with, who's her stylist, that has been accused of fraud. This is the second person, if this is true, that Nicki Minaj has been surrounded by that has done fraud, because the other dude was a big fan of her and did that. So I don't know. I don't see him doing that. He's worked with Mariah Carey and other celebrities and high profile folks, but you just never know. Stop hiring people who are fans of you. Stop being surrounded. These people are fans of you, your personality. There is more to you than just your personality. But you know what? You live in that pink Barbie house. It's goofy. But let's move on, because I don't want to talk about this anymore because my credit score is starting to itch. So speaking of debt and all the things, because Wendy Osefo and Eddie trying to run up $500,000. Maybe all y'all need to get together and pay off some debt. Like, what's going on? That's what I'm doing. I'm paying off some debt. I don't know what next you're going to give. This AI boom might pop, bubble, whatever. I ain't got time. Yeah, y'all ain't going to be, I'm trying my best, because I cannot be on TikTok telling y'all double tap and make sure y'all sharing the live. I cannot do it. Okay? If I got to not have a G-Wagon, because the girls love them a G-Wagon. If I got to let go of some things, like, so I won't be on TikTok, like, asking for a couple of dollars. Like, it's bad out here. And I don't blame some folks for having to do it, because it just is what it is. But it be the folks who be getting mad when you ain't double tapping and screaming and sending no hearts and gifts. Are y'all okay? What's going on? Like, y'all getting beside yourselves. But yes, Wendy Osefo has been let go from her university job. Real Housewives of Potomac Wendy Osefo stripped of distinguished teacher job after fraud charges. More bad news for the Real Housewives of Potomac star Dr. Wendy Osefo, and that's doctor to you. She and her husband Eddie were booked on fraud charges Friday, and today TMZ has learned she also lost her job. Wendy had been a distinguished visiting professor of sociology at Wesleyan University, but the school released a statement to TMZ Tuesday, writing simply, Wendy Osefo is no longer an employee of Wesleyan University. In addition to Wesleyan in Connecticut, Wendy also taught at Johns Hopkins University in Maryland before resigning in 2024. She has degrees from Temple University and Johns Hopkins and a PhD in public affairs and community development from Rutgers. Now, she's a very intelligent, brilliant woman, but when it comes to finances, my finances, to be sending emails about fraud is egregious. Like, are y'all okay? But I think there's plenty of blame to go around. One, starting with her mama. Okay? And let me tell you something. Some of our dreams is to take care of our parents. Some of our dreams, I know that's one of my dreams. Make enough money to be able to take care and retire your parents and let them live their life. That's one of my dreams. Will it happen? Who knows? I don't think so. But if it does, I will. But I won't be throwing Linda no $50,000 birthday party. I know that for sure. Okay? She wouldn't even let me do it. Matter of fact, my daddy's birthday is coming up. And he wouldn't let me do it. Like, her mama is one of the reasons too. Like, Mama Wendy, you responsible. Telling that girl to do all these things, instilling her money, degrees. That's been her whole personality. So that's why folks are shocked and eating her up. Yes, it's messed up. Insurance companies are a legal scam. They are selling us something that they hope we never asked for. Insurance makes no sense, but it's legal. So this conversation even about Nigerian scammers and all that, the world capitalism is a scam. I'm going to allow you to work for me, and I'm going to pay you less than so I can exploit your labor so I can continue to build wealth for myself. What does that sound like? Sound familiar? Sounds like slavery to me, because it is. Okay. So I'm not interested in the xenophobia of talking about like ghetto Nigeria. I'm just not interested in that. I think that Bravo is to blame too. I think Bravo and people like Wendy are like, it's like a magnet, baby. Like, y'all want to show us wealth. Like, that's what happened. I think Bravo and Real Housewives attracts those type of people that want attention. The girls who make bank roll and are true housewives and whatever, the white women and stuff, them folks who really live in Potomac and have those $1 million mansions and do stuff, they don't want no eyes on them. They don't want that type of attention. You know why? Because they doing fraud too, and they doing all type of exploitative stuff. They're making backroom deals. They at the White House. They selling their soul and they selling eyes too. Okay? So they don't want that type of attention. But y'all, want to make it seem like that y'all are the rich and the wealthy and all the things. Buying $15,000 bags, girl. Not on that type of salary. And I think people really believe that, like, professors at universities, even though she was tenured, like, are making bankroll. Professors make money off of selling books, doing speaking engagements. Working at Johns Hopkins, a lot of folks say, and I got some friends that work in some prestigious universities, it's the university you use as a brand to say, hey, I teach at such and such. I have the qualifications to be able to do these things. So they start to write books. They start doing speaking engagements. They continuously study. They always are in those books, reading, researching. That salary is cute, but it's not cute enough to be buying $10,000, $15,000 bags if you got to return them. It ain't making sense to be returning a bag. It's crazy. Returning a bag that you said was stolen and to get cash back, girl, it's not making sense to me. But Wendy, girl, they didn't gave you the boot. I don't think she's going to be able to talk her way out of this. I would not want no cameras in my face explaining this. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. This is very, very embarrassing. Like, what? Like, it's just, and people are enjoying laughing at it and consuming it because you are the person they least expect. Like, oh, so you just like one of us. And this is no shade. I've been saying this for a minute. This is why a lot of the housewives who are no longer on the shows are now doing YouTubes trying to do podcasts and all the other stuff because they ain't got it. The businesses that they had are not self-sustaining while they're not on the show. They're not making that type of money. Like, and it's real. Like it is what it is. So I think we don't really understand like how finances work, and we assume just because a person seems to have it that they do, and a lot of them don't be having it. When they release those reports saying that over 40% of Americans cannot afford their lifestyles and are deep in debt and don't have enough savings for an emergency, they're talking about all of us. They're talking about all of us. And I don't think we be realizing that, like, and it's not entirely our fault. It's also the system. The system is to blame too, that makes people like Wendy do things like this. But also a lot of us, unfortunately, are not making that type of money. Things are expensive. You can't go to the grocery store without spending $60 on stuff. Like it's bad out here. I don't care how many times you go to Aldi and all these other places and coupon down. Like, it's hard out here. It's expensive. We should not have to do these things to survive. But Wendy, girl, I hope you figure that out real quick because it's looking real bad, child. You and Nicki Minaj need to find a financial person to get y'all life on track. But Ashley, let me tell you something, girl. You talking about some Zen winners in the pen. You and your husband need to be for the stuff that y'all have done too. I almost said something, but I'm saying that for Patreon. Moving on swiftly and professionally, or unprofessionally if you're nasty. Because speaking of unprofessional, the way I ate up Stephen A. Smith, woo, I can't stand that. Ooh, I can't say it on here. I might lose my license. I might lose it. But Stephen A. Smith and how he talked about Jasmine Crockett to his white audience, there's a special place for you. But yes, let's talk about it. So Marc Lamont Hill was about to get to boxing with, I think, what's his name? Flip on Joe Budden podcast. Baby, it was entertaining. Marc Lamont Hill said, don't let this hoodie and these books fool you. You use tricky words. No, I use words that are tricky for you. Baby, one thing you don't want to do is argue with somebody who writes. You cannot. I'm telling you, you cannot. The way that man flipped that on him and said, tricky for you, that is your insecurity that you are not well read. You are dumb. And it's okay. A lot of us are. No shade. And we can fix that. It's not necessarily our fault. The education system has failed a lot of black folks. But what we can do, listen to people like Marc Lamont Hill. Listen to these folks. Read some books. Pick up some books. Remember back in the 90s, they used to have our favorite celebrities, even Miss Piggy and Kermit. Reading books. Read books. Pick up a books. There's a literacy crisis that is happening, that has been happening. Y'all need to read. That's how we're able to have people like Stephen A. Smith come on and tell knock-knock jokes about politicians. And we think that he's a political pundit. No, you're not. You're a raccoon with a bad hairline. You're not smart. Like, what is going on? So, like, you got Marc Lamont Hill ready to be boxed with Flip, and he deserved it. He said he did not want to pod. Said he didn't want to go back and forth with him. Let's make these plays for these men. And the men being Joe Budden. Because Joe Budden bringing the tea saying, oh, Marc was talking about the pay. Joe Budden moved just like Amazon right in that moment. Hey, he want to be paid more than you. Literally the meme of the cookies. Now they're both fighting. When Joe Budden out here making millions, throwing bankrolls out to random women at the strip club, but he can't pay the people next to him because Joe Budden can't do that podcast by himself. He can't do that podcast by himself. But he'd rather have both of them fighting amongst themselves than pay them folks. There's nothing wrong with podcasts like this or The Breakfast Club, but y'all can't be bringing the drama to the show. There has to be some ethics, some moral ethics, like codes or something, because this same thing happened with Lauren LaRosa and Just Hilarious. They brought the drama to the show. Charlamagne was joking about it. Joe Budden doing the same thing. And Flip was pissed. Now they finna be boxed. I think Marc Lamont Hill would have won that, though. I am not going to hold you there. Marc Lamont Hill looks like he is strong. Marc Lamont Hill ain't got to wear no crop top. He ain't got to wear no tank top. He ain't got to show his body. But I know it's some muscles under there. Okay? That muscle up here and also that muscle with that tongue is vicious. He's a brilliant person. So, yeah, like, girl, that's a mess. I don't know if y'all watch Joe Budden podcast. I don't. I only watch it during the Kendrick Lamar stuff, but I will not be supporting that mess. Moving on swiftly and professionally, talking about other mess. K Michelle and Drew Sidora. Drew Sidora, you're into it with everybody. So K Michelle has some things to say about Drew Sidora and her eyebrows. So K Michelle is on Drew Sidora's neck because she is saying that Drew Sidora has been out here spreading rumors that she tried to whack her or whatever. And K Michelle said, girl, I ain't hitting nobody. I don't play them type of games. I have a real career. I'm doing real things. I don't know what you over there doing playing on Nickelodeon, but we out here doing big things popping. So K Michelle been posting some tweets and stuff, firing them all. Drew Sidora, girl, you into it, everybody. Everybody. And it's just not making sense to me, girl. You're the common denominator amongst all of this drama. You're the common denominator. And them knock knees. Thank you and good night. That's exactly what it's giving. I don't know if y'all giving us enough tea for us to care because, girl, this stuff and Wendy and Eddie is eating it up. I'm not gonna hold you. I love some K Michelle and she will eat. She will drag. I don't know. Y'all fighting for y'all lives right now because the girls is kind of losing interest in Real Housewives of Atlanta. But we gonna see. Portia got a girlfriend, and now K Michelle ready to eat some Drew Sidora. I'm here for it. I want somebody to put Drew Sidora in her place because my God, what's that lady name last year? Or whenever that was not able to do it, bringing that purse. Oh my gosh, it was just so tacky. I hated that for everybody. But yes, we'll see how that goes. Last but not least, I want to tell you all, unfortunately, that D'Angelo, the artist, the R&B legend, the icon, has passed away at the age of 51. The news broke earlier. His family released it. And it's very sad. I just feel sorry for the kids and the family members of them because to lose both back to back is a lot. It is a lot. And D'Angelo is that guy. Like his sound is still being used to this day. My favorite song with him is with Lauryn Hill, like Nothing Even Matters. Oh my gosh. That song takes me back to the 90s. My mother taking me to Bellevue Junior High, dropping me off, and I'm doing homework or something. Like I used to have this little CD, little whatever. And oh my gosh, like just listening to that song. I just hate that we're losing so many of these legends at a very young age. Like a lot of legends that have just recently passed away. And it's just like, oh my gosh, like what is life? And I cannot wait till you all see the next episode, the newest episode of In the Middle. And we talked about life, and we talked about life for Black folks after death. And it was very moving conversation. And I can't wait till you all see that. That's all I have for this evening. Make sure that you're sending prayers and all of the love to D'Angelo's family and all of the things. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.